we know that we're working with B-roll
Yes.
from the TPC, so we might as well import those B-roll files from it's in our raw footage from our Premiere project.
That's a
So
lot.
I'm gonna double click and find that B-roll so I can bring it
Just
in here.
yeah, whatever folder you have. Surprised I found it. I'll wait. Okay.
No, I don't want all of it. Cancel. Alright, projects. Oh, raw footage. CPC raw footage. Interviews. And these are the different B-roll clips. I didn't bring them all in. I'm just gonna bring in the ones that, I got. So, got that, select all the way down to here. Open this up
Oh my god, yeah.
so that at least it's now here, and because I got all these clips, I wanna go ahead and create like I always do, a folder, a bin, right here. And I'll call this TPC B-roll. And I'm gonna throw all these clips in there. There, now all my B-roll clips are in there. Alright, so I'm gonna stop here for just a little bit and let you guys kinda get prepared. Alright, so as we go through this, we see here our normal things here. We've got the project panel here. We've got the composition window. Let's see what it's gonna look like. Right now, this window is gonna be black because there's nothing in it. We haven't placed anything anywhere yet, so it's gonna look like it's all black. When we scroll through, we got the demo reel stuff here, and at the end, your name. About the text, you can name this whatever you want. TPC, a day at the TPC, for example. Really anything you want. Put your name here, and then you can leave that video editor there if you want. And then at the end, your name, and then you can create a fictional website here, and you can even create a fictional email or use your email here. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. Okay, but yeah, you see here that, we scroll through and nothing's in it yet, so it looks all black. And then we go down here. Now this
Oh my god.
composition has 113 total layers.
Oh, okay.
The first one had like 49 or something, I believe. This one has 113. So thank goodness that our job isn't to create
That's
this
a lot.
template.
That's quite a lot.
It's only to use it the way we want to use it.
Yeah.
Alright, so remember that when we start working with the template, we're working with it up here. We're not playing around with the actual layers from the project. This is the interface that is part of the template that lets us change whatever we want. So, for example, I mentioned about changing the text. We can go over here, place our cursor over the text, and I can go ahead and change that name from demo reel to, select that here. You guys remember how to do it. To, I'll go a day at TPC just for me. That's a little bit large. So I can go right over here with this selected and I can change I can either change the scale or I can change the font size. I'm gonna change the font size. And have it selected. Interesting. There, just to make it fit. Something like that. There. But you guys can name it whatever you want. And then you see here your name. Well, remember, whenever you change anything, like I told you, get into the habit from your first one of just checking the main composition to see if it changed. So you see that it did. So I don't need to leave that up. I can close that. I can go to my name. Go ahead and select. Check to see what it looks like on the template. Alright, looks like it's there. And I can leave it at video editor if I want. So I just changed the title right there. We do the same thing at the end. Alright, now to our placeholders. Alright, so I'm gonna close this name one. Go to my very first placeholder. And so looking at this, you'd have to go back and reference the actual video to see what we're expecting so we can place it. So like, I could just guess right now, but I don't know if I'm gonna be on placeholder 1 or 2. Maybe if I looked at the actual, yeah. If I look over here to the left at the actual comp, I can see that this section on the timeline, this purple section here, that's comp 1. And if I keep going, that's where comp 2 comes in. If I keep going, that's where comp 3 comes in. So we want to go to comp 1, so we know something's supposed to be here. So I can go to placeholder 1, double click it, and then we can place in, right now you see it's empty, there's nothing there. I'm gonna place this at the beginning. I'm going to find my B-roll, and then this is where, like right now I'm just gonna place a B-roll so we can see what it looks like. But this is where you're gonna be looking at your B-roll and actually selecting what is my first shot, my opening shot gonna be. So I'll go ahead and place this one of the kiddos. Here. And so I got kiddos, and I can kind of remember that you can always move the actual video clip here to where you want it to begin. So I'm gonna start it about there.
I have a question. How did you
Hang on. And then I go back to see what that looks like. Check everyone. They at TPC, Professor Vic. Oh, and then we've got that. Now notice, we've got audio with that clip. We don't want audio with our clip. So, hang on. I'm gonna go back to my placeholder. I'm gonna go to the clip. I'm gonna find our audio. I'm gonna turn that down. So you see here, little mini arrow. My audio level, I'm gonna take that all the way to negative, looks like the lowest it can go is negative 192. Alright, so now I play it, and all I got is my shot. So I'm not saying, and in fact, I'm discouraging you. Nobody use this shot that I just chose as your opening shot. Don't do that. But you see here that this, for me, with this opening shot, that's what this looks like. So you're gonna wanna be able to play that to see what your shot itself looks like. Okay, hang on.
How did you?
and then I'm gonna answer your question in a second.
Yeah, I didn't. Right. I do the audio and stuff, that's fine. I just don't know how you insert it.
I'm gonna go back in and turn that down. There, there, play. Alright, so I'm gonna do the next one, but you have a question?
Yeah, how did you actually get the clip? Because I don't have the whole purple lines like you, on the bottom of the timeline?
Okay, so you always operate up here, not really looking down here. You're operating up here. Did you already import your
Yeah, all
clips?
of them are in here.
So
I'm just at the
for
point.
right now, just pick one as an example, whichever
Okay.
one.
Okay. Do I drag it?
So did you open up placeholder one yet? Did you go to the placeholders? And you open those and then double click to open up placeholder one?
Okay. And then do I just drag a video?
So once you're at placeholder one,
Yeah.
then you go find whatever video that you're gonna use and then drag it down there.
Okay. Let me just find something. Okay, I dragged it.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did.
Is it there?
If I go back, yeah, it's there.
Okay. So
Except
you see, that's what it looks like. So just for now, I'm just gonna do like the first 2 or 3 here. I'm just gonna select random clips here. And go back to my placeholders. I'm gonna go ahead and open up 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now they're all down here. So placeholder 2, I'm just gonna pick something at random here. Again, I don't want you guys to be random, but I will. And I'm gonna look at the actual shot. See how this beginning portion here, when I place this shot, this is what I'm talking about. This is not, this is unstable, right? Look how, so instead, I want to use, if I'm gonna use this shot, I can use this over here where he's basically about to take the shot, or when he make the putt, when he putts. About there is when he's gonna putt. So instead, I place this back to the beginning, and then I move the actual video to when he's about to make his putt. About here's when it's stable. Now I can go back and check that, and there was my first shot that I used. This is my second shot. Now take a look at that. You see how that looks? So this is where, if I were gonna fix this, because I don't see him at all. This is what this template is doing. You don't want to play around with what the template is doing. Instead, you adjust your shot if you want to use it to what the template is doing. So when I play this through, 2 things. Number one, I heard the sound, so I want to go in and pull my sound. This is my audio. And then I'm gonna actually position the actual shot in such a way where it's not doing this weirdness on the actual template. That's not gonna work. I'm not gonna accept that. So, because you can't see your subject of the shot here. So let's say about here. So I'm gonna go back to placeholder 2. I'm gonna move my position from where it is now. This is him. I wanna be able to see him, so let's see, I'm gonna scale him some. Let's make him a little bigger, and let's move him. Let's see what happens when I move him this way. Let's see what that looks like. Because we're just working with the template now. We're gonna see if we see him at all. Nope, there's nothing there, so I need to move him the other way. So go back to my placeholder. That's if I just insist on using this shot. I need to move him this way, closer to the center, and see what he looks like there. Alright, so looking at this, I still don't like that. So I'm gonna see what this looks like if I move it even more. Placeholder 2. Position. Let's see if I move this over here. Let's just see what it looks like. First shot. Okay, so now it's a little better. Now the framing, it's a little. I pulled it. I forget if I did something up or down, but right here he walks out of frame a little bit. I don't like this framing, so I'm gonna fine tune that placement, go to my vertical, just move it down some, go back and see what it looks like on the template. There we go. So now we've worked with the effect that was already built into the template, and we simply moved our footage to whatever is appropriate. I scaled it a little bit, I moved it vertically, and I moved it horizontally to make it fit with what the template is doing. So we don't have to change anything in the template, instead we change what we're doing with our footage. Alright, so now I'm gonna go to the next one just to do it. Go to my third placeholder. I'll pick, how about this one? Kind of another, well no, let me just, I'm kind of picking, okay, just for the heck of it, this bird. Alright, and let's see. Remember, no instability. We want all stable. Right now, if I use this shaky part, I will take off. So, you see, you're waiting for me to kind of find my shot. Now it's stable. The bird is watching me record him, so the bird is showing off the wings. And now we see what that looks like on the original template. Just hit play. Alright, and again, I gotta remember always pull my audio. Alright, go back. Cannot hear that audio. There we go. And so that totally works for the effect, for what we want to do. And so you will continue that as you go through. So what I'm looking for is, make sure that you pick your shots wisely in terms of the beginning and the ending, and then fill up the stuff where you're in the middle, and then you work with the template so that you end up with a well-executed template. You're just not throwing stuff in and it's looking haphazard. You're working with the template so that it's executed properly with the way that you know the shot should look from single cam. Good composition. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm looking for, I'm just gonna go through here. I'm kind of gonna go through here and see what these different placeholders are. We know we got spots here for all the placeholders. We got a total of 30 shots that we're gonna end up using for this template. We got the text, we already know what that is. We don't have to worry about these different resolutions. We don't have to worry about all these comps. We don't have to open those up. It's even got a folder here for Premiere Pro. This is interesting. I just want to play this music just to see here. I'm just gonna pull it up. this is the music. It's fine. It already has a folder built in from Premiere Pro, unless I brought that in. I might have accidentally brought that in. This is interesting. You all may not have this. I think when I tried to import, I think I imported and then I canceled, and it had already brought some stuff in, because this looks like my Premiere Pro folder.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think when I first was importing in, I accidentally brought in some of my stuff. So you see it brought in this track here. I may even pick that for my music right now. And so you see here that for the template, we don't have, it doesn't look like we have a place for our music on the original template, which means that we would end up adding that. So I'm going all the way down here. And I don't see a layer. I'm just looking here. I don't see a layer for our music. So I'm gonna see what happens if I add a layer for the first time right down here on the actual demo reel template. I'm gonna go ahead and close these placeholders so I don't confuse you guys. Because I don't see a spot for our music here. That's where we would place it normally. So I'm just gonna drag this down. Yeah, it looks like I can just throw it right down here underneath at the very bottom. I could put it at the top too. Let me see real quick. Let's see what happens if I put it at the top, above everything. Yeah, so there's my music track. Let's see here. Alright, so it's just repeating that right now. That it's not rendered, then it's repeating. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, it's just repeating when it gets to the green part. It's not rendered. So right now it's trying to auto render. So for me, whatever music you decide to use, you can place it at the very top or the very bottom. You know, I chose to put it right on the very first track so I can see it. But if I undo that, and I just drag that music track all the way to the very last track, I would say do it first or last. Don't put it in the middle somewhere where you can't find it. Then, you see now it's actually working on rendering. It's trying to render. Maybe at the very bottom is better, because for some reason it's trying to play through at the bottom, which is what I prefer, as opposed to when I place the music track all the way at the top, it loops. Alright. Oh, it did it again right there. So I don't know enough about this program to tell you why it loops sometimes, but I would say don't worry about it. Place your audio track, and then when you're actually playing through for your render, you just go ahead and let it render all the way out. And I stopped it here. play current preview does here. I'm gonna go to pre-render. Nope, I don't want that. Just trying to get a full preview. That's what I wanna do. Bless you. Okay. What I'm doing is just exploring if I can get a full preview with the audio. I'm just finding what it's doing interesting here. I'm gonna go to the end here just to play it out. Alright, yeah. Alright, so when you do add your music, make sure that's last after you've done everything else. And then when you throw your music on, you can kind of render preview it to make sure that it's actually there. You can hear it and you don't have to change anything about it. And then you can export from there. Alright.
have a question.
Did somebody walk in late?
No.
Yeah,
What's your last name?
populating.
Yeah, what's your question, Marissa?
Are you able to come to the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand no shaky stuff, but I don't have the purple like bar lines. Just have this one.
So, when you say purple bar lines, what you're
You
talking
guys
about
have- yeah.
is so these are all the layers. Right now, you're looking at the top layer.
Yeah.
When you scroll all the way down, those are where the layers are.
Okay.
And so that's what you're talking about. That's when you can see each composition right here. So the purple lines are down here, way down here. All I did is I scrolled all the way down to the final
Okay.
layer.
So
And
if I
back
go,
all the way up.
okay. So if I go down here and just to add, this is not okay, correct? It has to be over it. Right?
No, I mean, you're looking at the template right now, so don't let any of this throw you. You're only using this as a visual reference of where the different elements are positioned. You're not gonna be working with any of this. You're just using that as your reference as you go from the first placeholder to the second to the third.
So how do I know these are like the fourth and the fifth? If I go to the placeholders and I go to, I guess, placeholder 19, it'll go to 19?
Now, if you click on it, now you've opened it up to be able to throw whatever you want in there.
So if I throw this person in there, and then
Yeah, but
how did
that's
you say?
19, so like,
Yeah.
you need to build it from beginning to end.
So how did you shrink it? You went here and just to get the picture of the guy hitting the ball.
So you go to this,
This.
that little mini arrow right here,
Okay.
and then you open that one up, and then you change up the scale, or you move it, yeah.
So how do you scale the timeline?
You don't scale the timeline, you scale the picture.
Because you cut it in half. That's what I was just trying to ask you.
I didn't cut anything in there.
You didn't move any of these just to get the one
Whenever
guy.
whenever you move this, you move what you wanna use in the thing, so you take the actual video and grab it,
So if I
right?
say instance, well,
Yeah, when all this you should have learned from the last project.
okay, because I thought I can just screenshot that, but okay. So I just have one more question. So you said go all the way down.
You don't even have to look at all that, that's just giving you a visual reference for everything is.
So how would you change this, for example, if this was not suffice?
So which one did you put that, what placeholder did you put that in? You gotta go find your placeholder, you place that.
Yeah, I did. I put in 5.
So then, that's 5, you
Yeah.
want to change it, you delete it. Nope, you select here.
And delete it? I don't know if I.
So first of all, make sure that you are always at the beginning of the clip. This is the actual clip right here.
Mm-hmm.
You just delete it and put something else there.
But how did you change like the colors since is that okay if the colors are there?
Yeah, don't worry about the colors.
Okay.
So do you want that back or not?
So that's fine. Then no shaky shots. So basically montage and it has to just go with the beat like normal.
Don't worry about the beat, what you're doing is you're inserting
To
the
there.
footage into the actual template. You're not changing anything about the beat or anything.
So I'm gonna just do a couple and then I'll have you check it just to make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Okay,
Okay.
don't actually do your music until last.
No, I think I have to just, I don't know how to take it out. Oh wait, there's somewhere I can take it out. If you don't want the audio in, is there a way to take it out? There should be.
So the only way I saw was that you have to turn it all the way down. So you find the video clip, you get that little arrow,
And then the regular one for like the royalty, that one, how do you take out if you don't wanna start with it?
what do you mean royalty?
So the thing was, you put the audio on the top bar, just at the,
Don't even, I mean, you need to do your audio last. When you find your audio, you simply put that down at the very, very bottom of the template, like the last layer.
okay.
So you need to be thinking about audio until you've done the whole template.